Good morning, good morning. So you can see I have on my jacket up to my neck, a cap on my head, and I'm in Alaska. Yeah, I'm on the freezing tundra. Yes, I am. Actually, no, I'm actually in Florida. And I don't know how cold it is, but there's no snow outside. But I hate the snow. I hate the cold. And I know it's in the 40s at least. See the windows all, condensed up. Yes, I can imagine if I'm dressed like this for Florida, how it would be if I was in New York. The winter time, Canada. Nah, not for me. I wouldn't be there. No place north of Florida. The Georgia-Florida border. When you come to December, winter time, you won't find me north of those places. Okay, just a hint. I'll go further down south towards the equator. Anyway, not here to talk about the weather this morning. I want to talk about or make a video about my nephew that just passed away a couple weeks ago and had his funeral and stuff. And I want to talk about forgiveness. Because my nephew and I, we didn't I didn't I wasn't close to him. I chose not to be close to him, mainly because some stuff that he did to me, well, not did to me really, but he was just a person that just kind of irritated me. Found him very annoying, as a kid, so I just I just didn't understand him, but my mom, who raised him partially, she was so patient with him, and she she took care of him because he lived with us on and off, and as he got older though, he would like over the span of a year or two, he would take stuff from me, clothes, little things. Annoyed me because at the time I lived with my mother, and he would go in my room and take stuff, and I wasn't even close to him, that close to him. And then when he started doing that, it was even worse. I was like, just so irritated by that. And I would tell my mom, hey, aren't you gonna like talk to Rodney about this, and she wouldn't. She just ignored it, like, okay, so it just got worse and worse. And it might sound petty or simple, I don't think it's petty or simple when somebody takes like your brand new pants, you getting ready to go out, and you go in the closet to get your brand new pants. It's not there. Your nephew took it because he was at this point tall, a little bit taller than me, so he could wear my clothes. So or take your your cell phone chargers, and you go to charge your phone, it's not there, you can't find it. That's annoyed me. But those little things, they added up, And then there's one point where I was so upset with him, I actually grabbed him. I wanted to, I was gonna like, fight him or something. Well, beat him up. But he was taller than me at the time, so that wasn't very wise. And he was very strong, so didn't do that. So but he wanted, he actually stood up to me, like he wanted to do something. And that right there again too, was an incident that drove a wedge between me and him, so I just just left him alone, and he died a couple weeks ago, December 13th. He was 19 years old, strong, handsome, tall, had his whole life ahead of him, and it was hit by a train, and just like that, he's gone, just like that. And I went to the vigil they held for him on the train tracks, and his family was talking about him, and and I was surprised that they pretty much had the same view of Rodney as I had. Not that he took their stuff, which he did, but they just had this view of Rodney that he was very annoying, full of energy, can't keep still, always saying something, always doing something, always getting into some mischief. And they were like, yeah, that's Rodney. And I'm like, wow, I thought I was the only one that you know, that felt that way. But, you know, they were, you know, his immediate family. So, you know, they were like mom, you know, they just put up with it, you know, they accepted it and, you know, lived with Rodney, and, you know, they loved him. He was their brother, he was their son, he was their nephew, you know, and, you know, they're like, you know, yeah, that's Rodney, and, you know, I'm like, wow, you know, so that was Rodney. You know, but why I'm making this video is, you know, because, you know, like I said, forgiveness. I mean, you know, looking back now after he passed, you know, because he's gone, you know, it's like done, you know. I regret that I didn't take the time to be closer to him, you know. Yeah, I shouldn't have let those little things that he did, you know, really. Now they're little things to me right now. Before he died, they weren't small things, but now they're small, almost insignificant, you know. So compared to a person's life, you know, compared to me, you know, being a positive influence in his life, you know, I shouldn't have let, you know, those things that he did. I shouldn't have hung on to them and let them, you know, get in the way of me, you know, influencing him in a positive way, you know, getting close to him, talking to him. I just left him alone, you know, I just avoided him. Yeah, I just avoided it. I just, you know, like, you know, oh, you know, he's left, I'm right. I'm like, that's it, you know, because I was just annoyed with him. So I let my annoyance, you know, get in the way of doing a good work. So I really regret that, you know, that, you know, I let unforgiveness, you know, overshadow, you know, a life, you know. So now the things he did to me are nothing, you know. I wish I could, you know, if I could do it all over again, you know. When he did those things, just shake my head and shake it off, and, you know, and just engage him in conversation and build a relationship with him, you know. But I didn't do that, and now he's gone, and, you know, it can't be undone. And, you know, I'm left to wonder what kind of influence I could have had in his life, you know, in Christ, you know. How could I have influenced his mind towards Christ? You know, you know, it's just, you know, how, you know, why, you're just thinking like, you know, what could have been, you know. So, but all because really I didn't hate him, but, you know, it was really, when it come down to it, was, you know, it was unforgiveness. It was not forgiving him for doing those simple stupid things and moving past it, you know. That's what it really was. So definitely I'd encourage anybody out there, you know, who's holding on to small things, you know, to, you know, shake it off and it over to God, you know, and let God deal with that, and, you know, and be free, and, you know, and do the right thing, do what you ought to do. My brother has more kids, you know, and for certain, because of this happened, you know, I mean, I'm definitely, you know, I'm more conscious, I'm more generous towards them now, and more patient, more kind towards them, just because of what happened. And, you know, his death affected a lot of people, you know. Me, for sure, you know, it really affected me. I mean, reevaluate my life, and, you know, reevaluate, you know, how I interact with, you know, with people, you know, with my nieces and nephews, you know. So definitely, you know, what happened with him won't happen again, you know. Those small things right there, you have to let go and let God, you know, deal with those things. So definitely, Rodney, I hope you're resting in peace, you know. You know, God, only God knows, and I leave that in God's hands, you know. Only He knows. I'm not gonna cast some judgment and say, you know, whether He's up or down. I'm gonna leave it to God, you know. And, you know, and I'm alive, and, you know, I'm gonna do what I ought to do the right thing, you know, to please God, and let you know, let Him take care of you know, little small things, you know, that people do every day, that I might do. Well, certainly when I was a kid, I did those things too, you know. So, you know, it's good to be forgiven. It's very good to forgive. So God bless everyone. Have a good day. And you know, life is in God's hands and not yours. You know, so don't be too busy running to and fro, you know, with your plans, and, you know, what you're gonna do this or that, you know, when life is not yours. It's in God's hands, and He can decide to take it anytime He wants to. So serve God. The whole duty of man is to love God, keep His commandments. God bless.